Good day, everyone! We were tasked to discuss the CMO 12-2017 and CMO 30-2009. Let me introduce you first to my co-members, Kalinyahan Mildred, Kanyada Shalamay, Kapuras Pretzel, and me myself, Castañeda Ana. Our objectives for today is to discuss the interim operational guidelines of Laguna Gateway Inland Container Terminal Incorporation or the LGICT of the Customs Facility Container Yard or OCF-CY. And second is to explain the procedures for CPRS accreditation of CBWs and CYCFS. We will focus first on the Customs Memorandum Order 12-2017. This order shall cover the clearance procedures for incoming or outgoing shipments in the LGICT. The Laguna Inland Container Terminal is the first dry port in the Philippines. LGICT is a 1 billion pesos project by the ICTSI or the International Container Terminal Services Incorporation launched in March 2015. It is located in Calamba, Laguna. The 21-hectare dry port extends the Port of Manila closer to the Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, and Quezon Economic Zone, offering a one-window logistics solution.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mildred M. Kalinyahan, your reporter of Section 4, which is the General Provision. Section 4.1 LGICT shall be considered as a custom facility, subject to customs supervisions and control, classified and operated as a container terminal with definition of areas and operational zoning. So, the Laguna Gateway Inland Container Terminal, known as LGICT, it is considered as a custom facility which is to accept or store container van, included the customs supervisions, controlled, classified, and operated as a container terminal with a definition of exact areas and operational zoning. So, mauni ang forma sa Laguna Gateway Inland Container Terminal, also known as LGICT. Section 4.2 The goods intended for LGICT transfer shall be declared on any of the following authorized shipping documents and shall include, among others, details such as place of delivery and destination. Otherwise, authority of transfer shall be issued by the cargo owner prior to transfer. So, which is the Master Bill of Lading, second, House Bill of Lading, and third, Inward Foreign Manifest. So, the Master Bill of Lading, which is issued by the carrier and represent the contract of carriage between the shipper and the carrier. So, the House Bill of Lading, which is issued to the supplier once the cargo has been received. So, in Inward Foreign Manifest, which is complete listing of all cargo entering the country of discharge. Section 4.3 LGICT shall ensure that users are duly registered in the Client Profile Registration System or CPRS as importers or exporters in compliance with custom regulations and in conformity with the following general conditions. So, the LGICT ensured that the user shall register Client Profile Registration System as importer or exporters sa pagsunod sa mga customs regulations. First is the user should have a good track record and business reputation. Number 2, the user should be located with the southern Luzon area and provinces of Batangas, Cavite, and Laguna. Number 3, the user should have a contribution to the national economy, which is bringing growth and innovation to our economy. Section 4.4, LGICT shall use its own and hard trucks and trains as soon as they become available at the port for the transfer of cargoes to LGICT. So the LGICT should use its own or hard trucks and trains as soon as they become available at the port of the transfer or cargoes to LGICT. So dapat sad ang mga gamiton na mga carriers or trucks must be accredited and register of the custom personnel assigned by the deputy collectors for operations. Section 4.5, Information and Communications Technology Enabled ICT system shall be installed to handle the documentation, inventory, records, keeping and auditing of the trucks and train transfer and releases to and from the LGICT. Section 4.6, Computer equipment and communications lines shall be made available for the implementations of the existing ICT. The same shall be used for the retrieval of files such as entry declarations filed at the port of discharge, receiving of the online cargo releases system or OLRS, instructions with the corresponding clearance channel notations, lowering of examination flag and transmissions from LGICT to discharge or district collections port of relevant informations for the collection of the additional payment of duties or recommendations for seizures of a particular shipment. So, ang gyud i-install or i-adapt ang ICT system included the computer software para pud mapadali ang mga kaning mga trabahoon. Section 4.7, the LGICT shall provide office and facilities to the bureau personnel assigned. Section 4.8, for consumption of entries before it may be transferred to LGICT, the goods declarations should have been electronically lodged with the Section 4.9, LGICT shall provide a designated examination area or DEA for the selective spot checking and a holding area for cargoes under hold or seizure orders if necessary. Section 4.10, in the absence of a VTS or any equivalent tracking device, the LGICT must apply for a transfer note for each and every container to be transferred to the LGICT in the Repairs and Inspections Division. Section 4.11, the Bureau shall establish a customs clearance unit in charge with the clearance of inbound and outbound shipment and LGICT, composed of representatives from Enforcement Group, Intelligence Group, PID, POS, and other concerned offices. Section 4.12 LGICT shall provide CCTV access to customs personnel assigned for purposes of customs zone and cargo security. So the LGICT should provide CCTV in order the security of the customs zone and cargo security. And lastly, the 4.13, a special stop or hold order shall be issued for those shipment tagged red in accordance with Section 5.1.2.
Section 5 Operational Provisions. 5.1 LGICT Transfer Advice. Responsibility of LGICT. It shall be the responsibility of the duly designated LGICT official to electronically transmit the transfer permit and inland clearance depot transfer advice, or the ICDTA, to the Office of the Deputy Collector for Operations within 24 hours before the departure of the truck or train. So, responsibility sa duly designated LGICT nga mo transmit o transfer sa permit and inland clearance through electronic data. So, within 24 hours before the departure ni siya mahitabo. So, any container may be held for transfer based on any of the following reasons. So, ang container or ang mga cargos nga ipadala kay ma-held siya transfer if na siya mga sablay mahitabo. And these are the following reasons. If the user firm is not accredited by the district collector, if the shipment subject for transfer is not manifested, if there is an alert order nga gipagawas, or if there is a hold order. Section 5.2 Transfer Procedure from Port of Discharge to LGICT. LGICT shall lodge the transfer permit into the Bureau's ICT system via accredited AIP and shall subsequently file said transfer permit to DCO. LGICT shall prepare the Transferred Container Monitoring Report or TCMR and shall mount the cargoes onto the truck or train. So the transfer note and the TCMR is dapat electronically transmitted sa DCO and to the customs gatekeeper at the LGICT. LGICT shall sign the TCMR printout upon completion of the truck or train loading or unloading operations and shall submit the same to the district office port customs gatekeeper, who shall then verify the accuracy of the information contained in the TCMR. So, ang LGICT is mo-sign pa sila sa TCMR printout if to confirm and verify if factual ba ang ilang information nga contained sa TCMR. If the TCMR shall be found to be in order, so if okay ra, wala rin sabit nga nakita, the LGICT shall deliver the same to the DCO. The Customs Clearance Unit located at the LGICT shall verify and cross-check the information on the transfer permit as against the cargoes actually delivered by the truck or train. It shall then send a confirmation of delivery to the DCO via electronic data transfer. So, electronically transmitted yun diri. Electronic ang pag-transfer sa data. Ang assigned copy of the TCMR shall likewise be transmitted electronically Japon to the DCO. The DCO or his authorized representative shall use the confirmation nga nakabutang tag, which is the word arrive in the ICT system, to confirm the delivery. The DCO or his authorized representative shall reconcile on a daily basis the ICDTA and the accomplished TCMR to confirm the delivery and receipt of cargoes at the LGICT. 5.3 Filing and processing of entries for shipments transferred to LGICT. The goods declaration of inbound cargoes intended for the LGICT transfer must be electronically lodged at least 12 hours before the arrival of the vessel or upon ICT manifest submission to undergo assessment selectivity. So, ang process sa LGICT is same to just a process sa other cargos, which is na siya sakto nga procedure and assessment nga buhaton. The filing and processing of the goods declaration or entry kay mo-comply pod sila sa existing CMOs related. Kung unsay mga gipang-comply nga requirements and procedures sa mga other cargos nga gi-ship is mapibuhaton sa LGICT. Release instructions shall be given by the Bureau and shall then be transmitted through the AIAP OLRS system and procedure. Pursuant to existing rules and regulations, shipments flagged for examination shall be immediately brought to the DEA, where physical examination shall be conducted by the assigned customs personnel. So, ang customs personnel ang mubuhat aning physical examination. An audit of all OLRS releases at the facility shall be conducted by the authorized customs officer on a weekly basis, and a report thereon shall be submitted to the district collector. While ang commissioner mo ay mo furnish sa copy after.
Section 5.4, Shipment for Seizure. The assigned customs personnel shall evaluate all documents, make reports and recommendations, and forward the same to appropriate office. The Fed will then recommend to the district collector the transfer of any shipment for seizure to the CHA or the container hold area. And again, the authorized customs personnel shall prepare the discrepancy, inventory, and seizure report. The district collector shall forward the necessary documents to the Law Division for the warrant of seizure and detention or the WSD. Let's now proceed to Section 5.5, Report and Reporting System. In the case of the LGICT, this shall be submitted electronically to the PID, DCO, District Collector, Director of Port Operations Service, and the Commissioner. A monthly list of containers received at the LGICT, the monthly list of containers advised for transfer but not actually transferred, and the monthly list of overstaying containers at LGICT, and lastly, unusual incident report. Responsibility of the Deputy Collector for operations in the report and reporting system. He or she will be responsible for the preparation and maintenance of the LGICT record. And the DCO shall be informed on a daily basis of all transfers of all containers and its periodical audit. And as we all know, we have many units in the Bureau of Customs. But these are the functions of the other units in the Bureau. The Port Operations Service. They are primarily responsible for the operations of LGICT, conduct periodic audit, and serves as the repository of the updated CPRS. Next unit is the Deputy Collector for Operations or the DCO. This is where the LGICT will secure their clearances. And the DCO shall also assign wharfingers in LGICT. Piers and Inspection Division or the PID. They monitor all incoming or outgoing container movements within the LGICT. Enforcement and Security Service or the ESS. From the word itself and the unit itself, they maintain peace and order within the customs zone. X-ray Inspection Project or the XIP. If humans have X-ray for their body, the container vans also have X-rays. To scan shipments, especially those shipments with derogatory information. Here is an example of the XIP in the port of Cebu. Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service. They coordinate with PID or the Peers in Inspection Division in the monitoring of outgoing and incoming shipments bound to the LGICT. Down to the last topic of the CMO 12-2017, the personnel. The BOC shall provide and assign the following personnel and the LGICT of at least 2 wharfingers, 2 customs guards, at least 2 ESS representatives, CIIS representatives, POS representatives, and any other personnel necessary and the LGICT.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pritzell Caporas, and I am here today to talk to you about the Customs Memorandum Order number 30 series of 2009. It's a procedure for CPRS accreditation of customs banded warehouse and customs yard or customs freight station. Its objective is to establish procedures to be observed in the CPRS accreditation of BOC authorized customs banded warehouse and customs yard or customs freight stations mandated under the Customs Memorandum Order number 39 series of 2008. Its administrative procedures are: number 1, the CBW or customs yard or customs freight station concerned shall file its request for CPRS accreditation with the Office of the Deputy Commissioner. Second, the Deputy Commissioner, AOCG, shall then direct the Evaluation Committee prospectively assigned for CBWs and for customs yards or customs freight station to initially evaluate the existing BOC accreditation or registration records of the CBW or customs yard and customs freight station concerned and compare this record with the electronic submission made by the said CBWs and customs yards or customs freight station through their value-added service provider, in order to arrive at the recommendation to the Deputy Commissioner for AOCG or the authorized approving officer as to whether or not the CPRS accreditation of the CBW or the customs yard or customs freight station may be made, or the reasons why the same cannot be entered into the system. Number 3, in the event of the favorable recommendation, the Deputy Commissioner, AOCG, or the authorized approving officer shall direct the assigned encoder to register the CPRS accreditation of the applicant into the system. In case the CPRS accreditation cannot proceed, the reason thereof shall be conveyed into writing the applicant through its VASP in order that it may act accordingly. Number 5, to document all the foregoing transactions, the attached job order form shall be utilized. Number 6, in case the reason which gave rise to the failure of the original application has been addressed and the conditions set for the entry into the system had been complied with, then the applicant shall be notified in writing the Deputy Commissioner, AOCGs of such as compliance in order to restart the foregoing process. And lastly, its effectivity. This order shall take effect immediately and shall last until revoked.
I guess that is all for today. We thank you all for listening. Makabagong Aduana, matatag na ekonomiya.